when I was starting to fade out of Jehovah's Witness organization, I was basically not going to meetings. I was so stressed out with my 17-year-old marriage. That just sounded like a teenager, but a 17-year-old teenager. But I was so stressed out with my 17-year marriage that I just, it was ending, and it was just very difficult for me to go to meetings. So because my ex's family was there, my family was there, all our friends. It was just very uncomfortable. Him sitting on one side of the hall, the Kingdom Hall, me on the other side. So it was just like, and it was just so, it was a lot of, it was freaking traumatic, man. Like, to actually go through that, try to deal with that part, never mind just dealing with what I was dealing with, just with that relationship ending. Anyways, but I started like not going to meetings. I wasn't planning to not stop completely. I was just needing a break, right? And so my friends from the congregation, like, they would tell me, like, I can remember three friends that told me at different times that I would never find real friends in the world. I'd never find real friends outside of Jehovah's organization, right, as we know it. So that stuck with me. Why wouldn't it? I mean, they're your friends, and they're telling you, that you're never gonna find real friends outside of us. So you better get back to the meetings, right? That stuck with me for a bit. It was kind of that waking up, right? So, if you saw other videos, like, I was waking up because of my marriage ending. That woke me up to the religion as it being a conditional love type of organization, which I think a lot of religions are, quite frankly. But with Jehovah's Witness particular, because that's obviously my experience. So when I was waking up to that conditional stuff, because I just had this whole thing, as I wasn't going to meetings, and then I moved out away from my husband. I got a basement suite, living on my own for the first time ever. It was all like this and crazy time for me. And but what happened right then was that all my friends, I've been in this congregation for over 20 years, and now there's nobody. Like, I have one friend, and then I would go and see these other friends that were in different congregations. But this one friend from my congregation, and she was absolutely my best friend, and I miss her dearly. But I treasure all the experiences we had together, because she is my friend. But anyways, what happened was that the congregation basically just like, we don't know what's going on, so we don't talk to her, right? Because they basically put me on that island of saying she's the bad one because she left her husband, which I did, but he was the one that cheated on me. But I left him because I couldn't stay with him. Anyways, where I'm going with this is that when I look back to that, and I had these people telling me that, if you leave Jehovah's organization, you'll never find real friends, right? So I wanted to do this video because I'm sure that some of you are waking up or have woke up, and you're just like, and I know some of you have reached out to me, thank you, and asking, like, how did you actually find real friends, right? Or how did you find friends at all? And I've been out of the religion for 13 years now, and I was thinking, like, amazing how time flies when you're having fun, because it is, it's true. I have had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of heartache as well, but that's another video. But when I think back to that time of like leaving the religion, it was really scary to think that, here I was already kind of distancing myself unknowingly. I wasn't planning to do that forever. I mean, this is my life, like being in as a Jehovah's Witness, going to the meetings, that this is my routine, this is my life. I was born and raised in this, this was my life. So to think that I was going to do anything different wasn't the case until I started seeing people like distance themselves from me because they think that I was the one that did something wrong. And it just kind of opened my eyes to like being, very conditional. Anyways, I'm not going to go on that because there's a whole lot of stories around like the people that were quite conditional to me. But that's not what this is about. This is about how do you move on from it and get real friends, right? So I was pretty scared. It wasn't scared. It was more of just like, I'm fearful, of my new opening in my life that I wasn't planning. And then this whole idea that worldly people would be my friends, but they're not real. So good luck in never having good friends or good life or love even, because there's no such thing as anything outside of, truth and real, outside of the religion, outside of Jehovah's Witness organization. But here's what happened for me. I might have been having a really good bottle of wine at the time. I gotta tell you, I mean, that's probably a great thing to just do anyways, and ponder life at the same time. Not that I promote drinking alcohol at all, but I enjoy it once in a while. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to put it out there. And I remember saying, I need to find true friends that have unconditional love towards me and will accept me for who I am and however I want to live my life. I stated this multiple times, basically speaking to my empty room, as I'm in an empty room now, but I was basically speaking to my empty room saying, I need to find people who have unconditional love towards me, will accept me for who I am, however I want to live my life, they will love me. I put that out there. I put that out there so many times. And this before I even understood like affirmations. I had no idea. I mean, I am fresh out of the truth. I was fresh out of the organization. I was fresh out of being, I'm not even really out in my mind. I'm just like, I'm flailing about, like, what in the heck do I do next, right? Like, and I wasn't even planning a next. I was just like, trying to figure out my life. Anyways, here's the second thing I did. I stated out loud to myself was this: I'm going to be open to opportunities and people that are good to me and good for me. And so I stated that multiple times. I'm going to be open to opportunities and people that are good for me and good to me. I guess you would call these affirmations, right? Like, I've learned a lot about affirmations. I completely believe in them. They're absolutely helpful in helping you move forward in life. But as a Jehovah's Witness, at that time in my life, I'd never even heard of that. This was just something that I stated out openly in my empty basement suite that I was living at the time. And guess what happened? That year that I'd left my husband and I faded away. I started recognizing, I started waking up. All these things were happening, and I made these statements to my empty room, and guess what happened? So I traveled a lot, but it wasn't because I was planning travel. Multiple travel opportunities opened up to me, and I took them. And I took them because I said that I was going to be open, right? And I met new people. I met a lot of new people, actually, and I socialized with them. I socialized with them when I never, ever would have allowed myself to do that as a Jehovah's Witness, because, they're worldly. They're in Satan's world, and you don't want to get close to that stuff because they're bad. Because it's Satan's world, they're worldly. My gosh, like, why would you ever socialize with them, right? So, and to this day, you know what? Some of them are some of my absolute dearest and closest friends, and they are all worldly. Like, I don't have anyone that came, or as friends from whom I'm speaking of right now, that I met in that first year. I mean, even the second year, but I continually meet people because I truly believe in what I've stated and how that's moved me forward in my life. But in that time period, like, I don't have any friends that are actually Jehovah's Witnesses. And I don't have any friends that are like Jehovah's Witnesses that have moved out at that time. Like, I didn't have that there. One other thing I'll tell you that I did during that time that was just so important to do is I dropped all labels and all judgment. I said, I am not going to be a judgmental person anymore. I'm going to drop judgment and I'm going to drop all labels. So worldly, gay, from Satan's world, they're worldly, like all these, this whole thing about like, because that's just constricting us. That's constantly putting you in a box, is putting them in a box and saying those boxes can't play together. Like, it's just like stopping you from living a true and authentic life because you're putting yourself in these little constricted boxes of like, they're worldly, they're gay. Like, I was so happy when I I actually had my first gay friend, and now I have multiple gay friends because I was just like, I need a gay friend who can, I don't feel threatened by, and anyways, I'm so happy to actually have friends that are of whatever lifestyle they are, and they are some of the most beautiful people I've ever met, and they're worldly, but I don't use that anymore. So what I'm saying here is that if I can do it, you can too. Break down those walls. You can do it. You can. I mean, I had to, and it's not easy to do, and I get it. I mean, I was born and raised in this stuff, so it's like, it did take me some time to like, okay, it's okay. They're worldly. Let's just test the waters. They're kind of nice people, actually. And so you kind of get to test the waters as to what worldly people really are. I mean, you're going to be one of them soon anyways, if that's where you're going. And who cares? Worldly, let's just stop the labels, okay? I mean, as a Jehovah's Witness, we are continually and consistently told worldly people are with Satan, and for those of you who don't really know what worldly means from this perspective, is basically anyone that's outside of Jehovah's Witness organization. So they're claiming that anyone who doesn't follow the Jehovah's Witness organization, which means you're following Jehovah and the true religion, then they're worldly, right? So you're all screwed. You're all a tainted lot. Anyways, but what I found is that I have friends and that, they have unconditional love for me, and I couldn't be more honored and more happy to actually have that in my life. So please be open to what you can actually have as friends, but have as a life in, after the Jehovah's Witness organization throws you over, throws you out, you choose to leave whatever that is for you. And one other thing, because one thing I had to actually understand was the conditional versus unconditional love, okay? And some of you might never have heard that term, whether you're coming from a different religion or whether you're coming from a different perspective or haven't been around Jehovah's Witnesses before. And Jehovah's Witnesses themselves, of course, do not use this type of terminology anyways. But I came across it myself authentically because I, seen what was happening. I didn't Google at the time because I don't recall Googling this. It was more of just like, you guys are putting conditions on me. Like, I have to be at the meetings in order to have friends. I have to, go out in service in order to be a qualified publisher. I have to do all these things in order to be accepted, right? So those are putting conditions on you. So what unconditional love is, simply put, it's love without strings attached, okay? It's selfless. It feels secure. It's not based on conditions, like I said, such as needing to believe the same things. Because whether it's religious or otherwise, I mean, it can be political too, right? Where people are just like, you're on the wrong side of the politics for me. You're on the wrong bandwagon, so you can't be friends with me. I mean, we've all probably seen this over the last little while with politics, right? But we're not talking politics today. But anyway, so when it comes to unconditional love, that's what it is. Simply put, it's love without strings attached. So you love me for whatever I am and how I want to live. I love the same about you, okay? And that's simply how it is. If it's anything else, I don't think you should agree to it. If you have to change you to fit into somebody else's narrative or definition of what you should be, there's something wrong with that. So think about that, right? So my hope is that others who are leaving or have left the Jehovah's Witness organization, you're allowing yourselves to experience new friends. And do what I did. Put it out there. Put it out there. Put it out there that you want to, find true friends, real friends, and be open. Be open to new opportunities that are good for you. So start tapping into your intuition, because that is so important. That's one of the things that as a Jehovah's Witness, we were definitely we don't listen to our intuition whatsoever. But upon leaving, I certainly have figured out how to really trust that a lot. So I hope you do too. Okay, well, hey, you know what? That's the end of this, and I'm working on my next video. So make sure you subscribe, all right? And hit that bell icon so that you get notified the next time the video drops. All right, thanks for sticking around and checking out on my channel, and see you next time. Bye.